Good morning. I'm meteorologist Ben Peine here. Ben at 10. It's your daily weather show for our region here in the Ohio Valley, southern Indiana, Kentucky, and sometimes beyond as well. So, a beautiful day on the way. We got sunshine out there, some high clouds passing through every once in a while. What a day yesterday was. Upper 60s. I got a jog in out there. It was nice to see a lot of that snow melting as well. I mean, it was like t-shirt weather for quite a while yesterday afternoon. Just a spring tease out there and more than 20 degrees above normal. I think 22 degrees above normal yesterday. And you would think when you're that far above normal, you'd be pretty close to a record high. But our high of 69 yesterday was still well off the record of 78. The earliest we've hit 80 degrees it was back in 2018, and that was 82 on February 20th. So 80s can happen in the month of February. And I believe 2017 was the first time we hit 80 in the month of February. So about 9 years ago. So very, very cool. And again, we are live here from the new studios here in Uptown New Albany. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for popping in. Let us know where you're watching from. If you have any weather questions, feel free to drop them in. Feel free to guide the show. This is your weather show. So if you want to see something that I haven't shown, feel free to let me know about that. And again, we're live here from Uptown New Albany. Thanks for watching, whether it's on my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine. Thanks for hitting the like or the share button. Thanks for subscribing on YouTube. We are live on YouTube as well. So we got this camera view. We got this camera view, but I'm normally going to be on this camera view. This one's for if we have a special guest, I can zoom into like a one shot there. But having fun in the new space here. And we as usual, plenty to talk about, and actually a lot of warm weather to talk about. We've got some 60s on the way next week, and I want to take a look outside here before we get rocking and rolling here this morning. So let's bring it up. I'll get my name out of the way there. And there's a good morning on the February 11th. Again, some filtered sunshine through some of those high clouds. Out my window here is nothing but blue skies and on the sunny side of the river, but looking good there on the Kentucky side as well. This is the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera. If you ever want to check that out, it is live right there. So looking beautiful out there. And we can look at some current conditions as well with extolmag.com/weather on the World Wide Web, where we have our live stream up right now. And a current temperature of 36 degrees. So a little bit chillier, 30s this morning. We'll have some 40s this afternoon, but normal temperatures, kind of a light breeze from the northwest at around 5 to 10. Hey, we'll take it. Not too bad. It's going to be about more than 20 degrees cooler today than yesterday, thanks to that front that moved through last night. That gave Kentucky some rain last night, but most of Indiana was dry from that. And so the wind gust only at around 9 right now. So the wind chill not bad at 33. I've got the brand new 7-day forecast here posted for you. That does have that weekend rain chance that will map out with the future radar here coming up. Brand new weather story posted. It's got your weather history, your weather countdown, your weather jokes. Very quiet weather across the United States. I'm looking at the national maps. I'm not seeing many watches or warnings or anything like that. And then you can cruise down here if you ever want to check out the interactive maps. Upper right-hand corner is where you can find all these different layers, temperatures, winds, wind gusts. If you're on vacation, there's waves. There's all kinds of different layers right here. This is the high-resolution visible satellite, which actually has shown some contrails out there. And it also still shows the snowpack, which is getting less, but this is actually not clouds. That's actually the snowpack on the ground up towards Seymour, Indiana. And then another interactive radar here where I often plot the area temperatures, which are in the 30s this morning. So again, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you've got all the resources that you'll need, including the daily weather forecast here for us, and then the hourly forecast, which shows a lot of sunshine for today. And I'd say upper 40s, low 50s across the region. Again, really looking good for today. No big complaints from me here weather-wise, and quiet for the rest of this week. I don't see much happening until maybe Saturday night into Sunday is our next chance of rain, and then we get just a surge of warm air next week. We could see several days in the 60s next week. It's going to be spring-like out there, and I think the majority of the snow if there is still snow on the ground where you are, will be gone by that time. So if you're new to the program, I'd like to give you the forecast right off the bat here. Then we'll take a deeper dive through about 10:20 with the weather graphics. And then we will take a look at some of the long-range data after that, if you want to stick around and get extra weather nerdy for a while, and then we'll do a recap. So the weather headlines here for our February 11th, 40s and 50s for highs for the rest of this week. That'll continue the melting, though, with some more sunshine. And then in the middle there's that rain chance late Saturday into Sunday. I think some areas in Kentucky could see a good 1 to 2 inches of rainfall by Sunday morning, lighter amounts in southern Indiana. No severe weather with that. And then spring-like 60s again in that forecast for next week. So we'll take that as well. Not too shabby whatsoever. Seeing a lot of comments coming in, so let me get to a hello here this morning. We've got a good morning from Beverly Haggis there in Borden, Indiana. One of our loyal viewers and followers, Christian Walker, another loyal viewer. That got 32 degrees there in Indianapolis on the third cup of coffee. I'm still on number one. I'm taking it easy here. But cheers to you, Christian. And still no creamer in that coffee. All right, we got Orlean Whitlow with a good morning. What a day we had yesterday. I'm curious what you may have seen on your thermometer, Orlean, if you hit 70 degrees. We're doing great, Christian, on a Wednesday. Happy hump day. And glad you're doing good. Keith Hennessy doing good with these high temps. Getting better and better, sir. Yes, indeed. And I did enjoy my day yesterday. I got to run around the neighborhood. Get a jog in. My body and mind did not want to do it, but then it always feels better after you do it. Short sleeves, and it was crazy. There was a temperature gradient. It felt like around 70 on the ridge tops in my neighborhood. It's real hilly, 150, 200 foot drops in elevation. And when you go down in the creek valleys, it felt like a refrigerator. It felt like walking into the beer cooler. It was chilly. Christian Walker, 2 days until Tim Tebow. Oh, there you go. Awesome. Fun event for you. Joseph Benningfield from Lebanon, Kentucky. Thanks for tuning in there. I appreciate that. Letting us know where you're watching from as well. There in Marion County, Kentucky. And Erica from Charlestown. Thanks for tuning in here this morning. Got 36 there in Hodgenville in LaRue County. Just a little bit of ice left over on the walkway there. 40 degrees now with Lily and Lasley checking in from Grayson County, Kentucky, there in Litchfield. And we got a happy Wednesday from Dennis Gregory. So glad to see some green grass yesterday. Yes, so nice to see less of that snow. It's kind of patchy in my backyard right now. Sorry to hear the power went out for a little bit there for you, Beverly, and glad I wasn't too chilly. And good morning to Mary Dale in New Albany. And yesterday's walk was amazing for Dennis Gregory. I'm going to try to get out there again today. If not, get a lifting session. I got to start. If my diet isn't going to be perfect, then I'm going to have to burn off some calories. Calories in, calories out is the name of the game, and that's all you can do. So I'm trying to burn about 10. We'll see. 10 lbs. But it might take a while. It might take a little while. All right, let's thank some of our sponsors here and advertisers, and then we'll again get rocking and rolling here on a Wednesday. We're making our way through the week. We got Clog Busters with a Z plumbing services here, clearing the way one flush at a time. You can chat with them on the right side there. You can call them 859-762-1214. They got you covered throughout the Commonwealth of Kentucky. If you have any plumbing needs and services, there you go. Installation, all the different types of services for plumbing needs right there. And I was thinking of these guys yesterday with those spring-like temperatures. Grantline Nursery and Garden Center on Grantline Road. They've got their indoor section where you can buy year long, and you can also check out what's going on in their greenhouse as they are busy growing their plants, nursing those plants that could be in your backyard here very soon. We got a comment here from Orlean Whitlow. The best thing about yesterday, no coat. You didn't have to have a coat. It was 70 degrees. I had a T-shirt on for a while. We got Celeste Garrett from Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Thanks for tuning in there in Hardin County. Christian, it does look like we'll stay on a warmer pattern for the rest of this month overall. There'll be little dips here and there. And Lions Roofing, they're back at it with the snow melt yesterday. If you want to get a quote, you can call them 812-294-3595 if you want them to come out and check out any issues in your roof and the gutter system, protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. And you can head right here to lionsroofingco.com. Want to give a shout out to our partners here at Ivy Tech Community College, the Sellersburg campus. You just go to campuses right here and go to Sellersburg. If you go to their Facebook page, thinking of spring, they've got a huge golf outing. If you're a golfer, check it out. May 8th, the Douglas Slisher Memorial Golf Scramble at Champions Point. Beautiful spot to play some golf. So check that out. That is a big one there. That'll be on their Facebook page. Just head to Ivy Tech Sellersburg on Facebook. And if you ever want to get hooked up and learn more about maybe leveling up your career, changing careers, starting a career, they've got dozens of 2-year certifications here. And they can give you that one-on-one help. Just give them a call. And a shout out to my buddy here, Michael Long. He's got the 2-Tip Tuesdays that we always like to talk about. We did that yesterday. And if you want to get a quote here for your maybe a new insurance policy, maybe look for some discounts, some new rates. Maybe you just want somebody that will work really well with you. If any of the bumps in the roads happen to you in life here, he can help you out. 812-578-3072. And he's always giving great tips as well on his Facebook page, which is Michael Long, American Family Insurance, amfam.com. Search Michael Long, and it'll take you right here. And if you give him a call and get a quote, let him know that I sent you. 812-578-3072. And again, it is a beautiful start. Yeah, it is a little bit chillier today, but it is going to be a beautiful day today where the temperatures are going to be about 21 degrees cooler than what we had yesterday. So we're just back to some jacket weather, but again, not too shabby here for us. All right, let me get rid of that, bring this up. Just a reminder, you can contact me anytime, Ben at extolmag.com if you want to learn about advertising marketing solutions, or you just want to say hello and maybe ask a weather question. There we go. There's your weather nerd. We are powered up and ready to go here on a Wednesday, and we are going to be looking at all the forces of nature that might come at us here over the next couple of weeks. We'll have that long-range outlook here coming up shortly. Also, quick note, if you want a fun event to go to that benefits a good cause, benefiting Jessica's Journey Foundation.com. Benefit concert is April 4th, 2026 at Melwood Arts Center in Louisville. You got the Juice Box Heroes and the Suburbans. Go to Jessica's Journey Foundation.com or their website to learn more about that. Again, our weather headlines here today. We'll have 40s and 50s for highs for the rest of this week, and pretty quiet weather through our Valentine's afternoon through Saturday. And then we are going to have some rain returning, it looks like, to the region late Saturday into Sunday if that storm stays on the track that it is on right now. The Euro and the GFS are lining up much better and pretty much agreeing on the time frame and the amounts and the location. And we'll take a look at that here coming up on the weather models. And then spring-like 60s next week. So some good stuff to look forward to. Speaking of looking forward, advertised in the 50s, typically come in about 9 days. But again, we're getting a good head start on all that. Our time change in 25 days. And spring begins in 36 days. And thunder over Louisville in 66 days. A lot of weather history here for you. 1895, the low temperature was 11. Here's what I like about the show. I'm learning just as much as you're learning on this show about everything in the weather world. I didn't know about any of this stuff right here until I dug it up. 1895, the low temperature was 11 degrees below zero at Moline, Illinois, marking the last of 16 consecutive days on which the low temperature was at or below zero. During the first 11 days of February, Moline's highest temperature was only 13 degrees above zero. That is chilly. 1935, the temperature of 17 below in Scotland was the coldest temperature ever measured in the United Kingdom. Also on the same day, Africa's coldest temperature on record occurred in Morocco with negative 11 degrees. A ski resort town at an elevation of 5,400 feet in the Atlas Mountains. In 1962, a powerful EF3 tornado struck Holstebro in Denmark. 1983, the megalopolitan storm dropped heavy snow. That's a crazy name. Dropped heavy snow from the central Appalachians to Cape Cod. An all-time 24-hour snowfall record was set in Allentown, Pennsylvania at 2 feet. Allentown reported 5 inches of snow in 1 hour. 1985, heavy snow falls across nearly all of Indiana on the 10th and 11th. Anybody remember this one? including 7 inches in Indianapolis. We've got a good morning here from Perry Porter watching on the YouTubes. And good morning here also from YouTube to Emmanuel. Thanks for tuning in. I don't have anything planned yet other than my son's birthday for Valentine's Day. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure what's going on just yet. All right, here's our stupid jokes of the day. These are not necessarily weather related. Mike Sievert, good morning to you. Thanks for popping in the comments. What do you call an angry doctor? A therapist. That one's kind of PG-13 there. All right. Not everyone thinks Cleopatra is beautiful, but that's just how Julius Caesar. That's how he sees her. Very punny. What's a horse's favorite wine? Chardonnay. I had a glass of Chardonnay, Kendall Jackson Chardonnay with my mom last night. Always enjoy a good Chardonnay. All right, here's today's forecast for your Wednesday, February the 11th, a high of 48 today. Normal chilly weather out there, mostly sunny, northwest wind at around 5 to 15 or so. And our sunset at 6:17. Again, not much to complain about here today. And that forecast here for tonight down to 28 degrees. And mostly clear and dry. That is a normal low temperature. Lillian loving the jokes. Thank you very much. Christian with the heart, with the history and jokes. Thank you very much, sir. And going ahead to tomorrow, your February the 12th. We're almost into mid-Feb already. 28 out the door, 38 at noon, 45 for the afternoon high. I think we'll see increasing clouds tomorrow afternoon. Little disturbance moving over the area, but should stay dry with just some cloud cover from that. Normal high tomorrow is 48, so we're a little bit below that. Thank you very much, Vicky Berger. And our normal low, 30 degrees. Sunrise, 7:36, and setting at 6:18. Here's the big old 7-day forecast. So we got 45 tomorrow, 50 for Friday. And other than tomorrow night's low temperature, what do you notice in this 7-day forecast that we have not seen in a very long time? I'll give you 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. All above freezing temperatures, at or above freezing temperatures. So we're at 50 Friday, 54 Saturday, 55 Sunday. Looks like the rain timing for this weekend would be Saturday evening, Saturday night into Sunday morning. And then, hey, let's go into next week here with 60s on the way next Tuesday and Wednesday. We are going to be on the warm side of the jet stream. And Orleans says, oh my goodness, isn't that a beautiful 7-day forecast? Yeah, that is not, hey, 50s and 60s. After what we've been through, cheers to us. Looking forward to next week especially. Now, on the tail end of that big warm-up next week, we will have maybe some storms moving in with that. And we'll take a look at that as well, coming up with the weather model data, which we're about to run into here. It says it's 10:18. We're pretty much on time. It's usually around 10:20. We'll start to load up those weather models. And let's start to take a look at the maps here. Very, very quiet conditions. That cold front has moved off to the southeast of us. That's where you can see that rain moving into the deep south there over Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. And Eric is saying, yay for the above freezing temperatures. Carol Payne, what a great forecast. Vicky, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And you can see the area of high pressure that is building into the region. So high pressure is our friend. Now that gives us sunshine. There's the middle of high pressure. And high pressure, air flows out and around it in a clockwise fashion. So we are on the side that has a northwest breeze from that. And then on the other side of high pressure, on the west side, that's where you get a south breeze. So I'm guessing they're probably warming up pretty nicely out over the western Great Plains. Low pressure system out here where you see some snow over the northeast with a trailing cold front behind that area of low pressure, and that's where we find rain over the southeast. That is the analysis of our current weather situation. Let me get out of the full screen mode here And let me get out of the drawing mode as well. All right, there we go. Thank you very much, Beverly Haggis. Always like to put a positive spin during the show. All right, so we are going to basically do a jump ahead to the weekend as we have nothing to track here for the rest of this week. So I'll bring up the future radar, and then I'm actually looking more forward to looking ahead to next week, which will bring our warmest spells since early January. So yesterday was the warmest at 69 degrees since January 9th. And the last time we hit 70s, it was 75 back in, right around Christmas time, December 20th, 20 something. That was the last time in the 70s. All right. I don't see anything coming for you there, Christian, on Friday. We're going to jump ahead to Saturday for our next chance of some precipitation. So let me bring up the GFS weather model, which is looking very similar to the European weather model, which is nice. When you get them agreeing, your confidence grows in that forecast. So let me jump ahead to the 14th. This is, of course, Valentine's Day. I'm going to go to the afternoon on the 14th. There you can see that system developing to our southwest. So there it is. It looks like the majority of the daytime is staying dry Saturday. So this is going into 7 p.m., trying to bring some sprinkles our way, but the steady rain is out to the west. And this could be a good soaker for Kentucky. I think it'll be lighter on the north end in southern Indiana. Here's 10 p.m. That system kind of slow to move in. And it looks like the majority of this rain will be late Saturday night into Sunday morning. So there you can see a sharp cutoff in this rain, Christian. There you can see you're north of it this weekend. But there you can see a big blob of orange. So some pretty healthy rainfall rates out of this. And it will be kind of a cool rain. Temperatures in the 50s while it comes down for the most part. This is 7 a.m. on Sunday. So it looks like a pretty good soaker around much of the region. And then we're going to around midday Sunday. It looks like that's when Indiana starts to dry out. The rain could linger a bit longer there for Kentucky on Sunday the 15th. And then late Sunday, this system begins to move off to the east of us. And then we're back to a period of some dry weather and warming back up. So again, it looks like 50s Saturday and Sunday, and then 60s much of next week. So with that said, I would like to go ahead and look at some of this good news. So what we're going to watch here on the big map is this orange. This is the 60s and 70s air, okay? And we're going to see where that goes next week. And I think you're going to like the direction. And the polar air, by the way, is way up in Alaska and the Northwest Territories, northern Canada, over into Siberia. So let's keep that up there, and let's see if we can see a nice trend on the way. And here we go. So we are going to look ahead to this. This is the 16th on Monday. Did you see that jump up in the warmth? Watch this jump from the Gulf. Boom, boom. Ooh, look at that. That is nice. So this is Monday, and it shows 50s, near 60 degrees for us Monday. Not too shabby. And then there you can see 60s and 70s out west of us. Okay. And then as we go into our Tuesday, the 17th, we are on the warm side of this situation. This is showing 60s in our area, 70s out west. Look at that weather right there. Okay, that is Tuesday. Much of the United States is winning with the warm up. So we're looking at temps maybe nearly 20 degrees above normal. That's Tuesday. Now we're going into the 18th, which is Wednesday, the 18th. Big time warm spell here. That even showed around 70 in our area. I would not be surprised if we clock 70 degrees at some point next week. There we go. Warm bubble of air all over the region, even up into Michigan. Okay, and now we go into the 19th, which will be Thursday, the 19th. We are still on the warm side. This would be a 3-day, maybe 4-day stretch of 60s. Totally goodbye to any snow on the ground. And then we go here to February the 20th. I believe that is a Friday. And look at this. We are still on the warm side with 60s, if not 70s. Guys, this is all next week. The entire work week above normal. Oh, yeah. This is looking nice. So what we are going to see is that, oh, I didn't mean to tilt that far. Let me get rid of that. Get rid of this. Whoa. Sorry. Trying not to make you dizzy here. Okay, so what I wanted to show you, this right here is a low pressure system. This is Friday next week. This is a sharp cold front right there. So you eventually pay for a warm up in February. So it looks like it'll maybe not this weekend, next weekend might have a round of some rain and some thunderstorms. There you go. Hey, if you're just popping in, thanks for liking or subscribing or sharing our live stream here on this Wednesday. Happy Hump Day, February the 20th. All right, so let me get rid of that. And when I bring up the reflectivity, this is, again, Friday the 20th. There you can see along that front the line of potential storms that could be moving into the region with this. This has them moving through Friday night into Saturday morning. We'll see if that timing remains the same. Just kind of put that in the back of our heads. And so we may see a line of some thunderstorms here, a squall line with that. And do we have energy for thunderstorms? So we look at the most unstable CAPE, the convective available potential energy, not much. So this would be, with this scenario, low severe weather threat, but maybe some rumbles of thunder with that. So it doesn't look huge there with the fuel for storms. I'm going to go back to our temperature map here. And yes, we may have to say goodbye to the spring-like conditions as we go into next week. Maybe. I mean, this isn't bad. It looks like maybe we have a quick warm up right back up. This is February the 20th. Let me look at the orientation of the jet stream here. This is up at around 20,000 feet. So this is why we're getting these warm-ups next week. So the cooler air is going to be out here in this trough, and then we get this flow coming in off the Pacific from the southwest. When you get that orientation, it's going to be a pretty warm weather pattern for our area. The colder weather should be locked up here to the north, and we are going to be here. This can be an active weather pattern. It can bring storms when we have an orientation like this. We definitely don't want to set up like early 2010. That's when we had just tornado outbreaks after tornado outbreaks. I think that was January, February when we had a setup like this. And I was actually on network news, the nightly news. What is it? World News Tonight, because of how stormy it was back in the day. I remember that. All right. So there's the orientation of the jet stream. Back to the temperature pattern here. And we're going to go into Sunday, I believe, is the 22nd of February. Oh, man. Yeah, we are on the warm side of this jet stream. We could be locking into we are flipping the script here. The 3-week period or whatever of frozenness may be a distant memory by that time. And as we go into the 23rd, some cooler air settles in. Nothing crazy. The polar air is north. The warm air is south. Now I'm just jumping ahead to the 24th. Looks like we're kind of on the edge. If this were to happen, I mean, the data gets sketchy this far out. That's why we call it, by the way, when we look this far out. The good old Ben on a limb segment. Going out on a limb. All right. There we go. When we go this far out, what we're doing is using our superpowers. The weather nerd superpowers. That guy right there. All right, let's get rid of that. All right, here we go. So maybe, again, we'll have some warm air around February 24th. And then we're going here to, ooh, this is the 25th. So this shows a cold front moving through and dropping in some chillier air late month. There has been a trend for maybe a cool down late month. That shows highs back down to the 30s. Ugh. But hey, it's February, and that's bound to happen. Even March can have some pretty nasty cold spells. This is 375 hours out on February the 26th. Shows us in kind of a cool pattern. I would guess the jet stream takes a dip over our region to open the door to cooler temperatures, and that's exactly what we see here. Hey, weather is easy, guys. There's always a correlation. Jet stream taking a dive and then opening the door to the chillier air from the north, and then they would warm back up out to the west. So with all of that said, we may have like a 2-week period of above normal temperatures, and then late February, maybe a little cool shot back over the region, which hey, this is a pretty good deal for a February. And when we bring up the Climate Prediction Center 6 to 10 day outlook, yeah, they are favoring much of the United States in the above normal zone here. Look at that. So what the orange is, this is a confidence level map. High confidence and above normal temperatures through the 6 to 10 day outlook. So if you want it warm, these are the maps that you want to see. Now, if I go to the 8 to 14 day outlook, it's kind of similar here. You're seeing a warm bubble of air over the Ohio Valley down to the Gulf Coast, above normal pattern here for the next couple of weeks. There we go. Enough said about all of that. I was wondering, I think there is, there's a, let me get rid of this. And then there's see if this works. This is the drought monitor. We actually haven't had much precipitation, even though we had all that snow. There's not a lot of liquid in snow. So it does show our region in abnormally dry conditions, which I don't mind in the wintertime. I would rather have drier than normal conditions in February, because you can so quickly get into a flood situation because there's just so much runoff. The plants aren't soaking up the water. So would rather see us start to get that rain back into the ground, April, May. But I don't mind it being a little bit dry this time of the year. All right, that has been, again, our long-range outlook. There we go. And we'll do a recap of the forecast here in just a sec. I see we have a few comments popping in. Since the last time we chatted, what do we got? What do we got? No, it looks like it's all south of you, Christian. So no big deal with that. Shannon saying we need the rain still, I think. I mean, it wouldn't hurt, but again, this time of the year, I don't mind it being dry. Laura DeVore, thanks for tuning in here this morning. Emmanuel saying CPC. I think Emmanuel likes the cold weather, I'm guessing. Orlean saying, I hope it does stay dry. We won't have all the muddy mess. Yeah, it would be nice to dry things up after the snow and ice melt across the region. All right, 10:34. We're going to bring back up to the stage. Oops, I'm hitting a lot of buttons here. Bear with me. Here's our weather headlines here for today. 40s and 50s for highs the rest of this week. We'll have some rain chances, as we saw on the maps, Saturday night into Sunday morning. Could see 1 to 2 inches of rain over Kentucky, by the way, with lighter amounts in southern Indiana. And then spring-like 60s for much of next week, as we saw on the maps. Average highs in the 50s in 9 days. Time change in 25 days. Spring begins in 36 days. And thunder over Louisville in 66 days. A lot of weather history today. You can see this on my page or at extolmag.com/weather on our weather story. You can take a longer look at this at noon. I'll have this posted. Here's our stupid jokes of the day. What do you call an angry doctor? Therapist. It's just spelled a little different. A little PG-13, perhaps. Maybe not PG today. Not everyone thinks Cleopatra is beautiful, but that's how Julius Caesar. What's a horse's favorite wine? Chardonnay. All right. We'll keep working on those jokes. All right, here's your forecast today. 48 degrees, normal chilly weather, mostly sunny, northwest wind around 10 to 15. Just a nice quiet day out there and pretty normal temps. 28 our low for tonight, pretty near normal for that low temperature and a light breeze. Tomorrow for your Thursday, February the 12th, it's going to be a calm day. Not much wind out there, some sunshine to start. I think it'll get cloudier in the afternoon tomorrow with a high of 45. Again, near normal temperatures. And Jeanette Pierce saying, good morning, and spring-like weather sounds great. Yeah, I think we deserve it after that old man winter visit for a long time. So a little disturbance trying to move into the region tomorrow afternoon. I think it gives us clouds, but we should stay dry with that. And then we're dry Friday with 50 degrees, 50s this weekend. I think a lot of the daytime is dry Saturday, but by Saturday evening, Saturday night, we could have some rain moving back into the area that lasts into Sunday morning. And it could be a pretty good soaker over Kentucky with lighter rain over Indiana, depending on where that shutoff ends up. And the trend with that system has been a little bit shoving it a little south. So we'll see if that kind of continues here. We'll be fine-tuning that weekend rain over the next couple of days. Monday, upper 50s near 60 degrees, then well into the 60s next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I think much of next week we are in the 60s. Might have to get back out on the golf course with weather like that. A lot of good news. A lot of good news in that extended forecast. All right. Let's get to our thank you portion of the show as well. And one last live look outside here with some high clouds drifting over us. A lot of sunshine with the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera looking over the Falls of the Ohio. And I notice here as well that we see a lot less snow on the banks of the mighty Ohio River. I did check the forecast river levels, and it looks like it should stay over the next 10 days below flood stage, even with this snow melt and the rain chances on the way. Hey, Christian, thanks for tuning in every morning. You have a great afternoon as well and evening. You stay warm, stay safe, and thanks for mentioning to subscribe on YouTube and also Extol Weather and Extol Media and Facebook. And you enjoy the rest of your day, Orlean. Thanks for being a part of the show and giving us those temperatures. Yeah, not seeing much snow at all there on the banks of the Ohio River. Pardon me. All right, so here is a look at our live show. There's a goofy weather nerd right there. That is our live show where you can subscribe as well. 38 degrees, our current temperature, so starting to warm up. All your weather resources all the time here at xtolmag.com/weather. Every morning I post the 7-day forecast. And also, we want to thank our partners and sponsors. Easy for me to say. Hey, it's Clog Busters with a Z Plumbing Services. They got you covered throughout the Commonwealth of Kentucky. 859-762-1214. So all of our Kentucky viewers, there's a good resource if you ever have those issues. Plumbing issues are not fun issues. We all know that. But if you need some help, there is a trusted resource for you there. John Fox had a heavy snow melt in Highview yesterday. The river going to get high. And John is a river expert in the logistics of the barges out there. John knows what he's talking about. And yesterday, I was thinking spring. I was thinking about Grantline Nursery and Garden Center. You can head in there, their indoor section. They've got a big greenhouse whenever you want. They'll keep you warm in there. They've got a lot of products right all year long, but you can also see them working away and nursing those little baby plants that will become huge in April and May for you to head in there. And so I appreciate the work they do year-round for us. Speaking of working year-round, they can get back on the rooftops because the snow has melted. LionsRoofingCO.com. Hey, if you want a free quote, you can call them 812-294-3595. Protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. You can get free quotes here online. And they've got a career section. They've got a roofing repair technician job opening. You can see their services. You can see their ratings and all of that there online too. I want to thank our partners here at Ivy Tech Community College. They have a ton going on there at their Sellersburg campus at 311 and I-65, 9 miles north of Louisville. It is exit 9. They're building the Baptist Health Urgent Care Center where they can train their students with that as well and help our community. And then they are also building the Family Scholar House for single mothers. Awesome way to make it accessible for our community as well, this college education. So you can get your post-secondary education right here. Dozens of 2-year certifications. You sign up for Tuesdays at the Tech, get the one-on-one help, or you can give them a call and learn more. All the resources are you can find here at ivytech.edu. Thank my buddy here, Michael Long with American Family Insurance. If you want to get a quote, give them a call, 812-578-3072. Or you can go here to amfam.com, search Michael Long. It'll take you right to his page. Proud to be an American Star Certified Agency Excellence in Customer Experience. And while we're at it, since we got nothing else to do, why not thank our other partners, Weddington Custom Homes. If you're ready to build your dream home, go to weddingtoncustomhomes.com. It's Brad Weddington. He built my house, my mom's house, a lot of the houses in our neighborhood. And he's a fun guy. You'll have a fun time building your house if you build with Brad. And hey, our friends here at Libs Paving, top asphalt paving contractor around. I want to go here to show you if you need an opportunity, you know somebody that needs a work opportunity, why not head over here and apply online? There you go. They are busy with jobs galore throughout the year. And I help them with the forecast throughout the year. And so check them out right there. That is going to do it for a show here. I'll Ben at 10 live. Thanks for joining us. If you ever want to get in contact with me, Ben at extolmag.com. You can learn about our advertising marketing solutions right there as well. Lillian has a great day. Says, have a great day. And they are going to ship, and they're going to have we're going to talk about a revamp on their website. Thanks for mentioning that. When they do, they will have a place to order online. That is coming soon. So good question there. And Chris says, also follow Wednesdays with Weddington on Facebook. Yeah, we post interesting information there. And Laura, thanks for tuning in. And I think we'll leave it with Lily and Lassie. Have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine. And hey, we're going to be talking tomorrow about the weekend rain. We'll fine tune that. And we'll look ahead to next week's big April-like warm-up on the way. There's good stuff happening in the weather world, and we'll talk more about it tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking and subscribing and sharing.